Born in a town called Tours in France, Julien Nizan stands at 5 foot 9 inches and weighs 72 kilos or 158 pounds. The youngest born in a working class family, his father was a respected stonemason while his mother held numerous jobs. He was given a sense of architectural design at a young age from both parents to the point he earned top rankings in school. To become fluent in English, he studied with an American professor at secondary school. Julien didn't just have intellectual interest, he was also very athletic where he excelled at track and field, fencing and cycling. He was so into cycling that he actually dropped out of uni to cycle across France. When he was 18, his father was enlisted by the National Gendarmerie for an anti-corruption sting with local businesses, and the level of planning required by police fascinated Julien greatly, to the point that he enlisted himself following that and was assigned to the highway patrol units. During his time training, Julien was learning pretty quickly. His training included specialized qualifications in weapons, surveillance, and criminal investigations. His ability to adapt put him at the top of the list in military and defense courses, which quickly caught the attention of the GIGN. According to staff psychologists, his operation with the unit combined all those elements to satisfy his endless pursuit for a challenge and adventure. Also, because of his pursuit of a challenge, he ended up earning the title of the GIGN Marksman Champion. While also specializing in hostage rescue and surveillance, his list of successful interventions is quite long. Once 2015 came around, Julien was recruited into Rainbow along with several other GIGN officers, and he was in charge of performing trust exercises with the new recruits. Fast forward 5 years, in June of 2020, Julien and Twitch were in Paris, France when two large fires emerged downtown. The pair were deployed by the GIGN along with several other officers to keep order from the chaos caused by the fire. Because they were faced with a similar situation during the program training, they both suspected the fires had been started to distract from a major bank heist across the city. Once they tracked and confronted them, Julien was shot in the head but was saved by his helmet. They both then pursued them in a high-speed motorcycle chase across Paris where they eventually caught them. Fast forward another 4 years, on the 23rd of February, a security committee meeting was held on the Rainbow Black site on Emerald Plains when Deimos initiated a raid during said meeting. However, the raid didn't go to plan as Julien, Doc, Mira and Zero were already on site waiting for Deimos to capture him for interrogation. But Deimos managed to overpower the four of them, shooting them before he was ambushed by Zero. Until Deimos recognized Zero and almost ended him before Julien shot him in the mask while saying this:
Ta gueule, connard.
Him, Mira and Doc thankfully survived the attack by wearing Julien's newly upgraded body armor. Deimos was then captured and brought to Rainbow HQ for interrogation. And after the mission was over, Zero invited Julien to a training session sometime as a thanks for saving him. Once Julien was recruited into Team Rainbow, former director of Rainbow Harry Pandy performed a psychological assessment on him. His psychological profile reads as follows: Julien is idealistic and trusting. He can be impulsive and must self-regulate in order to stay on task. When his focus is clear, he is decisive and driven to complete the task at hand. For his report, Harry Pandy reviewed Julien's file and had some thoughts on it. In reviewing Specialist Julien's file, what stands out is his ability to adapt to demand. Very quickly into our conversation, it was clear that Julien's interests are wide-reaching. From his descriptions, it sounds like his parents shared their eclectic tastes. Julien and his sister Elodie were especially encouraged to be curious about everything. I would argue that it's this openness to the world around him that led to the creation of his protective yet still highly flexible armor plating. Julien's father is a stonemason, which requires imagination, precision, and dedication. His mother's ability to explore different vocations with great enthusiasm, bookkeeping, street busker, florist, tour guide, sommelier, and chef, all strongly influence how Julien adapts to challenges and what goals he sets out for himself. The field reports reflect some of Julien's chameleon-like way of merging into whatever role is required. This kind of versatility is rare. I've asked leads such as Specialist Doc and Castle to challenge Julien more during operations. I'm curious about how Julien went from studying architecture to joining law enforcement. He grew up passionate about cycling, auto racing, and rock concerts, and he spends an inordinate amount of time trying to devise a scheme by which these could become careers. Ultimately, his interests evolved. Dropping out of university to cycle around France gave him his first sense of freedom, and then his world expanded further when he returned. At that time, the gendarmerie enlisted his civilian father for an anti-corruption sting with local businesses. Julien told me he was fascinated by the level of planning required by the police. Right from the beginning, Julien remembers appreciating the broad spectrum of skills and range of expertise required to be in law enforcement and the military. Every day is different. Julien is one of the more constant optimists on the team. His ability to energize other specialists is important, and he's certainly well liked. I'd like to see Julien's sense of adventure put to better use, however. Complacency benefits no one. You wouldn't believe it, but Julien had his own unique device. The R1N Rhino armor contains a hot press boron ceramic plate that's designed to stop small arms fire from penetrating the chest cavity, as well as offering small protection against trauma caused by back face deformation. They're stored in a lightweight sturdy satchel for rapid field deployment. The trauma plates were actually initially designed as a low-profile ballistic shield for thrust exercises. Julien was first introduced to the trauma plate when he was on the receiving end of a 357 Magnum. The protection they provide and the ease in which a damaged plate could be replaced made the trauma plates a valuable addition to Team Rainbow's defenses. Julien's device was evaluated by Doc, and he had something to say. Lab time has been limited. I understand this, but Specialist Julien's R1N Rhino armor assessment has been bumped up for the schedule 4 times. I was informed that this was due to the straightforward nature of the armor pack and therefore doesn't require a full lab analysis. This is not ideal. How are these being prioritized? I'd like to have a meeting with Harry, Pandy and Mira to discuss the lab schedule priorities. The R1N's composition of boron ceramic plates can limit damage from small arms and effectively buys time for the team from fatal impacts so that medical assistance can reach the team in time. As we all know, this is the single most important thing in combat: survival. With something so simple, it's really exceptional and deserves respect. Please, let's discuss lab time. Before I end it off here, here's a fun fact about Rook. His birthplace Tor reflects his nickname, as the word Tor can mean Rook in French. Diving into the lore behind Julien was pretty damn interesting. He has a wide variety of interests. May as well call him a jack of all trades. His parents are just as interesting as well, always wanting to do stuff and explore, picking up new hobbies and just wanting to know more about things, especially with enthusiasm like his mother. If you're as wowed as me with the lore behind Julien or Rook, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing if you do for more content like this, and I will see you with Legends in the next one. Peace.